Welcome to the first episode of one of the greatest shows ever made. Turn on the lights in 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, that was a lot brighter than I thought it would be. Well, hi guys, welcome to MEDIOCRE Mayhem. This is the show that I've been working on for a long time. The set is still incomplete. There's supposed to be lights on these pillars back here, but this is Zambia, and in Zambia, you can't always get everything that you're looking for in Zambia. And Amazon does not ship here, so I'll have to wait till somebody can bring them over in their luggage, which might take a while. So these lights may never be here. I think it looks okay without them, but if we get the lights someday, that'll be pretty cool. This show is super awesome. It's got lots of different things that we do in it, and the first one is called The Good, The Bad, and The Awful. The way this segment works is I take a bunch of different items, and I test them or bring my own opinions to the table and let you know what I think about them. And today, we're taking a bunch of different Legos and seeing. That did not work as well as I thought it would. But we're taking a bunch of different Legos and we're seeing which are good, which are bad, and which are awful. Ooh, why my wish just sounds so cool. Let's get started. I got some random Legos here and just gonna start with, well, this one fell off the table. So, Technic parts. I'm gonna say these are good. I have not had really any issues with Lego Technic pieces. There's lots of satisfying things you can do with Technic parts, and they're just really fun. And like, there's no limit to what you can build since Lego started making these. So these are definitely going in the good pile as soon as I get done playing with them. It clicks. That's going in the good pile. Moving right along here. I'll start off with another good one. The 2x4 brick. You can't go wrong with the original Lego piece. This thing is really awesome. There's like, I forget, some mathematician did all the math to figure out what the exact number of parts that you can build with 6 of these is. I don't remember the number. Editor, put it up there on the screen. Thank you. Inform the viewers. But that's a good. That is a good Lego piece right there. I think it's time to put in a bad one. Lego food. It's going to surprise a lot of people, and I think it's kind of unfair, but although Lego did a good job of making these look kind of like real food, and then we got a croissant roll, we got an apple. The problem that I have with Lego food is its size relative to the Lego minifigure. Because I have a Lego minifigure here, a very suave looking gentleman. And if you hold up this apple to his face, it is like this, it covers his face. What apple on the planet is that large? I mean, if I can find an apple that is the size of my head, there's a problem. And so for that reason, I'm putting Lego food, anything that is improportional, like this banana, anything is just going in this pile. But that brings us to minifigures. I have one in my hand. Lego did a good job of making minifigures, unless minifigures are where the problem comes in, because maybe these are proportional and they're just really small. But I don't think that's the case. We're putting minifigures. Right there. They're a good Lego piece. They're really fun. I have like too many of them, but not enough at the same time. All right. Oh, yeah. A really bad Lego. This, no, not bad. This is awful. Plain awful. Broken Lego pieces. It's mainly the dark brown pieces. I've heard lots of people complain about these, but these parts are like so brittle. I don't know what it is. I think it's like Lego made a bad batch of brown pieces one time, and it's just like a really big batch. I don't really get it. But it also isn't just dark brown. Like, I put this piece in here. I've had lots of problems with the ordinary, like, generic blue color. I've had it with reddish brown, the extra dark brown. I mean, all these colors have just been brittle. You can just snap it. You can't do that with an ordinary Lego piece, but it's just like, these pieces can just be snapped like that. It's crazy. I don't get it. But they're going in the awful pile because they are annoying. I've cut my hands on them way too many times. It's so annoying. And it's incredibly frustrating. We got here, what do we got? We got, oh, these pieces. Awful. I don't know what these pieces are. I don't get the point of them. I don't understand what the purpose is. If you know the purpose of these pieces, comment below what they're supposed to be used for. But these are like, I've never found a use for them. Because if I get a plate here, a fun little purple plate, you can snap them to a plate, okay? Granted, you can do that. But the top cannot. It's impossible because you have studs that are offset there, but they're flush with the top. And so you try to press it down, and then you can't press it to the edge because these pieces aren't offset a full brick's width. And so if I try to press it down, these are too high or too low. And then if I do it this time, the others are too low. So you can't press it on the bottom side. And it's not even like it's a jumper plate because the bricks don't go perfectly in the center. They're further to this side than they are to this side, but they aren't far enough to not become an issue. I mean, these pieces are so annoying. I mean, like, aside from sticking them to snot bricks, which stands for studs not on top, they have like, I mean, these make pretty cool like jet engines if you do that. They have like no other purpose, and I'm putting them in the awful pile. These are just bad. Yeah, if you know what the purpose of those pieces is, please comment down below. I really want to know because I have no clue. They're like so unuseful. The next awful Lego piece, I forget the name of it. Lego uses them as rear view mirrors on cars a lot, but not very good rear view mirrors. They don't look very good as rear view mirrors. But I'm gonna put these in the awful pile because the only purpose I found for these is doing this right here. You can stack two bricks together, or two plates or bricks, it doesn't matter. You can stack them together and then you get kind of like a tiles width in between. And like if I get two of them here, you can see that you can do that. And that's like the only purpose for these. I guess you can make like a miniature train by doing that. That might be kind of cool. But there is no other purpose for these. If you have a great use for it, comment down below. I want to know. I want to know what you use these parts for. Anything that I put out here on this table, good, bad, or awful, comment below what pieces you use and it might change my mind. Okay, another awesome piece. I'm putting this in the good pile is the cheese slope. Yes, I'm going to pause for that. The cheese slope is like, it's really hard to hold in your hand because it's really small, but put the double cheese slope over there too. It's like, it's so small, but there's so many good uses for this, like laying them on their side and filling in odd spaces. You can mix and match the colors, make all sorts of patterns. I've used that to make stone textures. They're great things to put on the tops of stones. I built like a cave one time that some wizard had refurbished. I use these as like little tiny rocks and to cap the tops of larger stones. They're super useful and they can be cheese. All right, I used these earlier on in the video. The snot brick, which stands for studs not on top. These things are so useful. Probably the greatest piece Lego has ever made, aside from the original. There's no end to what you can use these for, and stack stuff on their sides. They're way better designed than these things, where you can't stick stuff flat to the top because they even thought to not center the studs on the side. They're higher up, so that when you clip something to the side of it, almost anything out there. What is that in that drawer? Almost anything, you can still clip it to a brick, and it's the exact height. That this gap at the bottom here is the exact height of the stud. Wait a second. Get out of here. That's a mega block. We're not going to have that on this sacred desk with other Legos. Goodbye. And this piece, oh, the rail. I'm putting this in bad. I know it's very useful for lots of different purposes, but most of those I have never found. I'm just assuming. Because one of the only ways that this piece is useful is if you have one of these pieces, which if you have one of these in your collection and didn't know it, this is the inverse of this piece. They're supposed to slide together like that, and When you don't. If you get one of these, stick it on here. It's finally like the only way to connect this and make it useful, because as you can see there, it's like, yeah, it's in that piece. This is the inverse, the piece that allows it to slide. But I would actually say this piece is more useful than this piece. That's why this piece is going in the bad pile. Because if you get two of them, which the sad thing is these pieces are kind of rare, but if I get two of them and a one stud wide tile, you can stick them together, and that is the exact size of that. I'm hoping these are good, although they weren't on the desk originally. They're just fun. Those pieces are fun. These pieces are bad. Moving on, another piece very similar to a tile, but not. The jumper plate. These are good pieces. I would say they're just as useful as the stop brick. They allow you to put stuff in the middle of pieces. Like if I have one of these and I put a jumper plate on top, look at this. I can now stack a piece in the middle of this other bigger brick. Ooh, this is a good piece. I don't really know the use of this piece, but I have actually used this before, and another friend of mine has used this before. You can make a necklace out of it because it has a little hole at the top, so you can like. I always wear this chain. I can never take it off, except for when I'm doing this on YouTube as a demonstration. Look, you can just slide. You can just slide the thing on there, and now you have like this really cool like little pendant on your necklace. It's like so fun. Look at that. It's like a little pendant right there. You can show people I love Lego. That just screams I love Lego. Okay, we almost are out of pieces here, and I could see one piece that I'm definitely giving an honorable mention as an awful Lego piece. This is Lego Minecraft. This is the only Lego Minecraft I own. Steve's head and the diamond helmet. Lego Minecraft is so bad. If you agree, comment below. Because like I've seen sets for like there's blocks that are 2 plates tall, blocks that are 5 plates tall, and things are not proportional. That's not a block. And it's like so annoying. And for that reason, goodbye. This next segment, as you just saw in the intro, is called Blast from the Past. This is a segment where I take old videos of things that I've done or things that other people I know have done and let you see them, and then I get to put my own little special twist on it and let you know kind of the backstory and what was going on. Today's public safety announcement is brought to you by ZaMerican ME and MEDIOCRE Mayhem.
And that's why we don't text while we're driving.
Oh, that was too good. But yes, that really was me when I was little. That was our very first house that we ever lived in here in Zambia, out in the bush of Africa. The floor it's not just the camera, the floor actually was green. And because I wore shorts a lot, my knees actually were green. I'm crawling around on the floor as a little kid for a while. I think my knees are still staying green. But that was me. I was doing a public safety demonstration of why we should not text and drive. People, it is still a good idea. It is still the best idea to not text and drive, because as you just saw there, you could be involved in a terrible accident. You could ride your bike into a wall. Or worse. So I ride around, I get some speed, and okay, that thing in my hand there, that red thing, that was actually, I had like a Melissa and Doug wooden tool set that was actually, there's like these little pieces of wood that came in it, and it has all these little holes where you can put the fake bolts and nails through and stuff. And that's what I'm pretending is my phone there in my hand, because at the time I didn't have a phone. And so I'm just riding my bike along, pretending to text on this little piece of wood. Boom. Very dramatic right there. One of the most clearly fake deaths I think I've ever seen. I was also a mess at the time, and I have no idea why. And what I'm wearing, that's actually a Zambian soccer uniform that's made to size. The shorts, actually, there was a time when I outgrew the shorts but could still wear the shirt. And so my oldest sister, actually, she seam ripped off the little Zambian Soccer Association emblem. She seam ripped it off the shorts, and I happened to have another pair of green shorts for some reason, and she was actually able to stitch it back on. Then when I outgrew those shorts, I once again had another pair of green shorts. I don't know why I had another pair of green shorts, I just happened to. So I was actually able to have 3 different pairs of shorts with that same emblem on. I think I outgrew the shirt eventually.
And that's why we don't text while we're driving.
That's so good. So that's Blast from the Past. It's just a little glimpse into what life was like back when I was a lot smaller and back before I had this YouTube channel. Comment below what other segments we should do, but we still have one more. It's probably one of my favorites and also probably one of my least favorites. It's time for Blindfold Bungo. Alright, as I said, Blindfold Bungle is probably one of my favorite segments. That's because I like the idea. It sounds like it's going to be fun. I think you're going to enjoy it. But I also said it's probably one of my least favorite segments. And the reason for that is because I have no clue what's going to happen. In this jar are housed some of the worst things possible to have to do blindfolded. And as the name of the segment implies, I'm going to have to do something blindfolded. And that something is whatever I draw out of this jar. We're going to mix up the jar. We're going to dramatically set the lid to the side. I'm not looking. Shaking it around. Stirring it around with our fingers. Okay. I have what I will be doing in my hand. This moment is the first time Blindfold Bungle has ever been done in the history of the world. Okay, one of the first ones that we put in this jar. Alright, come with me, guys. We're gonna go comb my hair. Okay, I have no clue how hard this is gonna be. We're gonna end up with a super wet bandana, I'm 100% sure of. Here, I'm gonna get rid of that. We have to comb our hair. Don't get the camera wet. My hair is incredibly hard to comb, and so I have to get it like so wet. I mean, maybe it's kind of like because you don't have the mirror, you don't have, you like don't have any like possible confusion. You're showing completely off your hands and the feeling of your head. That's all right. Making a part is going to be the hard part. Alright, now's the hard part. You have to get just the right amount of lift on our hair. And did I say, whatever ends up happening to this, when I finally say, okay, I'm done, I take off the blindfold, this is how I have to stay for the rest of the show. Well, the good thing is our last segment. I didn't do that on purpose, but you will get to see me for the outro like this, however they end up. No, I don't think I'm doing too bad. No, not doing too shabby of a job. We need to do our typical run our hands through our hair. Cameraman, how does it look? Not gonna say anything? Okay. Okay. Well, doesn't feel too bad, actually. There's like one spot over here where it's a little too low. Comb that up. That's about right. So, no? Feeling it? I'm gonna say it's good. Alright? Take off my blindfold. Let's see how well I did on my first blindfold bungle. It's a little flat and it's a little weird. Definitely not, I wouldn't have done this if I wasn't blindfolded, but, it's not as bad as I was expecting, honestly. We tried, and this is what blindfold bungle's all about. Trying, and almost always we're going to fail. Well, that's all we got for you today. Don't forget to comment below what things I should add to the jar. I've already got things in there like catch a baseball, do a trick shot, rope a roping dummy, and lots of other really difficult things to do while blindfolded. Also, don't forget to comment below what segments I should add. I'd love to hear your feedback. You can click right down here to subscribe to ZaMerican ME, and you can click right over here to watch one of my last videos. I'll see you in the next one.